Did he earn y'all respect? This guy went from YouTuber, and in 5 fights, he done fought on pay-per-view. He done fought some UFC guys, ended up fighting a boxer, got his ass whipped, took the L, and went home. He even dropped Tommy Fury in the last round. You don't respect that?
He didn't have to fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but he did. He didn't have to call out Tank, but he did. For Jake, this isn't just money, it's legacy, a chance to silence every critic. And let's be honest, this fight makes no sense for Tank's career.
This might be the worst thing that ever happened in the history of humanity. Jake Paul is set to fight Gervonta Tank Davis in November. This is ridiculous. First of all, Tank, I know you're known for not taking the hardest fights, but you at least fight actual boxers. What are you doing? You know, besides getting that bag. Second, Jake, why are you doing this? You're a bad person. Let's ignore the fact that I have personally watched this man rob a PF Chang's. Let's talk about his refusal to fight real boxers. He gets criticized for refusing to fight real boxers, so he fights Mike Tyson, a 60-year-old boxer. He gets criticized for fighting a 60-year-old boxer, so he fights a current championship boxer who is literally 100 pounds lighter than him. Tank Davis is a lightweight, 135 pounds. Jake Paul is a cruiserweight, 235 pounds. You're never beating this fraud allegation, Jake, so why are you doing this? What do you guys think of this fight? And don't tell me anything good. Say it in the comments.
Meanwhile, Jake Paul is not the same YouTuber who knocked out Nate Robinson years ago. He's grown. He trains like a professional, takes real risks, and has faced legitimate boxers. He went the distance with Tommy Fury, even dropped him late in the fight. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. when he didn't have to. And now he's stepping up to challenge Tank Davis, something no one thought would happen. For Paul, this isn't just about money. It's about building a legacy and silencing critics who still call him a fraud.
Wanted the Loma fight when it was in its prime. Him and Mayweather, their team just, they just danced around it. When we wanted the Devin fight for Undisputed, the belts don't matter. I could just give them to my kids because everybody's winning belts. Shakur, he's easy work, he's boring, but you don't want to unify against him. Keyshawn might have a chance. You feel me? It's just disgusting. We wanted the Bud fight too after he called him out, and we also would have took a Teofimo Lopez fight. But then his fans would say, oh, but they're too big. They're not in his weight class. What the fuck is Jake Paul? This is the bullshit I be talking about. Like, this shit does nothing for the sport of boxing, but in terms of the division of 135, it doesn't do.
For Tank, though, the stakes are trickier. Beating Jake Paul does little for his resume at lightweight. It's not a unification fight, it's not a legacy fight, it's a cash grab. And if Tank loses? That would be catastrophic. Imagine coming off back-to-back fights with Lamont Roach, first a close call, then a possible loss, and then walking straight into a circus fight with Jake Paul. The optics would be brutal. That's why many fans are frustrated. When the boxing world wanted Tank vs Shakur Stevenson, or Tank vs Devin Haney for Undisputed, or even a showdown with Terrence Crawford, those fights didn't happen. Instead, Tank is chasing a Netflix payday against a YouTuber who outweighs him by nearly 100 pounds.
What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fighting?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come through.
It would look like pure desperation, like a fighter tired of real challenges just chasing an easy payday.
What do you think of former athletes and celebrities like Jake Paul taking up boxing? You think that grows the sport?
He's doing it for the right reason. Ashley want to do it because of just like Ashley want to box. It's cool, but if he's doing it for like the wrong reason, just to get the hype and stuff like that, I feel as though it's trash. Sometimes people get bored at what they want, what they doing, and they want to try other stuff. Got to be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
For sure. That's all I got. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Time.
What changed? What made this trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Amado.
Gervonta, something should have happened at this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything?
Fed up with the
Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby? Usually they're around to.
You think you might be gaining love for it, though? You never know. Like you say, you got to walk today.
Critics argue this does nothing for the sport and only robs his own division of real opportunities. The signs of decline are worrying. Tank has publicly talked about being bored with boxing. He's hinted at retirement. He's cut ties with Calvin Ford, the trainer who's guided him since childhood. He was even spotted smoking during training camp, the same camp where he barely scraped past Roach in their first fight. For a man once considered unstoppable, it raises real questions about his focus and discipline. And so the stage is set. On one side, Jake Paul chasing respect and a permanent place in boxing's history book.
Going on between Calvin Ford and Gervonta Davis. Now, we all seen that knockdown in the 9th round, but what you probably didn't see is what happened after that in between rounds. Check this out.
Hold on. You gotta calm down.
Come on now. Coach Barry Hunter trained Tank for this fight with Lamont Roach, not Calvin Ford. A lot of people were saying that this performance has something to do with that. So, is something really going on between Calvin Ford and Tank Davis? Check out what Tank had to say.
No, I wasn't really paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean? I was more so. It's something we gotta work on in the corner.
On the other, Tank Davis risking his reputation, his legacy, and maybe his future for a fight that looks more like spectacle than sport. For the Roach fight, Tank made a major change. Longtime trainer Calvin Ford wasn't in the corner. Instead, Tank worked with Barry Hunter. Fans immediately noticed the difference. The chemistry wasn't the same, and it fueled rumors that something deeper was going on between Tank and Calvin. Even Tank himself admitted afterward that the corner work wasn't smooth. All of this adds to the sense that Tank
knew that you made $170 million from this fight.
I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever.
60 million households, Jake.
250 million people. Bro, that is so... It's all downhill from here.
No, for sure.
Is burned out. His actions, his attitude, even his words, they all point to a fighter who's checked out mentally. So why take a fight with Jake Paul? The answer is simple: money. Tank isn't chasing belts anymore. He's chasing paydays. And no one in boxing right now generates money and eyeballs like Jake Paul. Look at the numbers. Jake's fight with Mike Tyson shattered Netflix records. Reports say Jake cleared around $40 million, while Tyson pocketed $20 million. Millions tuned in around the world.
A good show, and you make your money. Like Jake Paul, made $40 million off of that. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson made $20 million off of the fight. It was played in the AT&T Stadium. We don't even know how much those guys got. How much did Netflix make? You know what I'm saying? How much did everybody involved made? Since Jake Paul made 40 million, Mike made 20 million. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it was all like an exhibition type show, and it was just for each other to get some money. Mike got his money, Jake Paul got his money, and by unanimous decision, Jake Paul won because, of course,